This is the biggest game of the season that will tell us so much about the Crimson Tide. Plainly put, it's nut cutting time. So will Coach DeBoer keep his tenor position in the choir? Or will he join the Sopranos? Welcome to Around the Herd. Roll Tide, roll Tide, Alabama Nation. Thank you for thumbing over and joining me on whichever virtual spaces you have chosen today. Come on in, Alabama Nation. Sit a spell, tell a friend, lock me in, and let's talk about your Crimson Tide, the greatest football dynasty that the world has ever seen. Share a pound with a brother on the way in and drop that thing right on that subscribe button. Just drop it. Drop it. Break the screen. I'm not paying for it, but drop it on there. Only the power of people can blast this channel deep into the 5-digit range perhaps before the 19th title is added to the Crimson Tide's trophy curio, shall we call it, on the wall or the ground, or whichever way we can write 19 any kind of way. So come on in, folks. And if I successfully stimulate the happy juice in your gray matter and make your funny bone jiggle, please remember to let the algorithm know by poking that like button right in the eye. Just poke it in the eye. He can take it. He will not go blind. Let's get right to it, folks. We got a lot of ground to cover right off the bat. Let's see. This evening, let's talk about the Crimson Tide sick and shut in. The injuries have plagued these guys all year. Our latest biggest injury, Jamarion Lathan remains hospitalized, UAB last time I checked, at St. Vincent's in Birmingham after sustaining the next injury in Tuesday's practice. Coach Caleb DeBoer, he confirmed that he was undergoing an evaluation, and they expect more clarity as to the situation in the next 48 hours. The good news is he does have motion and feeling. He did send texts out to Coach DeBoer, thanking everybody for, his support, sending shots out to the teammate, let everybody know that he's doing well. This is a serious injury, but the early signs are he should be able to avoid a worst-case scenario, which is most important. He still has to have a lot of testing and stuff to get done, but, it looks better than it does worse. We're not sure about football, none of that stuff, but the linebacker from Reform, Alabama, he's been with the team since 2020, the veteran presence in the locker room, and he did miss the last two games with other injuries, and this setback is definitely a sad one, which make everything, his season's just been horrible thus far, but let's hope he comes out at least fully functional, able to do everything people want to do. He's listed as a co-starter at Wolf with Q Rusal, but his absence has allowed Yanzia Pierre, who's been doing pretty well, has 7 tackles and 1 sack from the sophomore from Eufaula, Alabama. When you call her, she gonna fall her in Eufaula, Alabama. I know a little bit about that part of the state. Anyway, he stepped up in Lathan's absence, and Lathan's season, his 2024 season, he had 28 tackles, a sack, and a fumble return recovery. But he was definitely making an impact as well as providing depth for the Crimson Tide. I think he got 2 tackles in the season opener against FSU before he had to go to the sideline. So the timing couldn't be never as good during the season, but going into the Georgia game, not having Latham on the field with leadership and the experience and the stories of days going past with Georgia, that's going to be missed. Hopefully, I don't know, maybe he'll make it back for the game. If not, he can join for future games. But during the presser, Coach DeBoer was kind of measured in his response. He was showing genuine concern for Latham, who wouldn't. But he stressed the importance of the team, support from the team. And, this whole situation is definitely bigger than football. And that just a big reminder that behind every jersey, who we call stupid, dumb, or a beast, or animal, or a savage, there's a human being back there. You know what I'm saying? So every snap that they go through carries a big risk. So let's support all these NCAA players from Division I and the NAIA players in football, because they're out there trying to entertain us, and they're doing their best as far as we know. So let's try to keep in perspective as we critique and or criticize. But the Tide is rallying behind their brother, and prayers and a speedy recovery we wish for this young man. Now, let's be honest and get back to getting real. You know me, I don't really go after players, but I will go after these coaches. But overall, the team road record is shakier than a soda can and a paint mixer. 2-6 in true road games since 2022. That includes the GOAT. That's a siren. That's alarming, people. Georgia's home streak is straight disrespectful. 22 straight wins in Athens. They have a no-fly zone fortress over that doggone Sanford Stadium. Hopefully we can turn it into Spam Stadium. Anyway, But Coach DuBois knows their time, and he's coaching like every snap, like he's in a job interview with Coach Saban, sitting there looking at him, somebody looking over his shoulder, like, what you just call? But Ty Simpson, his role, he doesn't have a resume, really. I think he did well at FSU. He got the arm, he got a poise. Crowd noise. Yeah, Doak Walker Stadium was they were on fire. They definitely on fire in the third quarter. And Ty, no interception so far. But this is a huge exam for the Crimson Tide. We need this, I think. You know what I mean? But nothing's guaranteed. Georgia's offense is humming. Gunnar Stockton is dealing, and the Bulldogs are barking with bite. If you saw that game against Tennessee, even though they had to score their own way, even though they ran the ball, they still were able to keep up the scoring that Tennessee put up by playing the best defense they could. They got lucky. Well, they caught a break with the Tennessee missing that field goal at the end of regulation, but they persevered and they got the win. The Tide got their best back coming back, but I don't like coming back against Georgia because that game with Tennessee changed when they did one of those bootlegs with a quarterback on third and something. I don't know, but a flash of red and white came out and hit Tennessee's quarterback so hard it changed the game. Go back and watch it. That man was clicking and ticking. He got hit by that doggone linebacker or safety or bust, whatever that was. The game changed. It changed. He started missing. And you could tell for the next about a whole quarter, he didn't want to get hit again. The pocket, definitely not running between, running in the, the C gap, D gap out there on the sideline. He probably had his hand on the door if he had to use the bathroom at halftime. He didn't want to get hit no more. Not like that. I don't blame him. It hurt. It sounded like it hurt. When you can make that kind of sound in front of 100,000 people and the microphone still pick up on it, oh, that hurt. That hurt. I'm not necessarily sure that guy was healthy for the rest of the game where he got hit. But Jam Miller's coming back. Hopefully that helps with the run game. But, hey, not only do you have to have a Jam Miller back there, but you got to call the plays, and somebody got to block. Alabama receivers, all them drops and stuff, we don't call no names. We ain't going to call no names. All the drops got to go. The missed blocks, the ghost routes, whatever a ghost route is, a route that don't mean nothing, I guess, ain't going to cut it. Because there are definitely some opportunities. They had a freshman starting over there on the other side with George. Tennessee took advantage of him. We should definitely take advantage of him. I mean, he should be a better cover a DB today than he was during that game. But that's probably the softest spot on the team. It's kind of like when you go against your skull, you're like, ooh, that's soft. Oh, that's hard. Yeah, they DBs is like this kind of soft. It ain't all soft, but it's softer than this right here. That's what I mean. Ain't nothing soft over there. But the boys' sideline demeanor has shifted. It's been reported by several outlets that he's going from a calm conductor to a fiery foreman. It ain't no more all aboard. It's like, get Joe on this train. So he's coaching like he got something to prove, which he does. So that's a big plus. We have no margin for error in this game. Not even the kicker, Talty got to be on point. Everybody, the kick return, the kickoff defense, every possession is going to matter in this game. I think it's going to be a close game. And I don't want what do you call that? Emotional victories or whatever, confidence booster. We only lost by 4. Everybody thought we were going to get our head kicked in. No, we need to win this game. We have to flip the script. So we're going to need grit, guts, and a game plan that's going to punch first on offense, defense, and in special teams. Because in Athens, Georgia, mercy is not on the menu. And it all starts with the man in charge, Kalen Douglas DuBois, who took that Florida State butt kicking personally. I'm glad. Because, it's like somebody insulted his mama cooking and told him his playbook stink. All in the same breath. Like your mama cooking suck and his playbook is garbage. So he been changing it up, man. He's been fired up on the field, real general, coaching every snap, getting in folks' butt, almost ready to get in a street fight when it came to Rico Scott. on that kickoff. That we let this man go through like he was going through a dog. That man couldn't have been no cleaner after that kickoff return if he had hit right through a car wash at the end of that thing. He couldn't have been no cleaner. I don't even know. He's a track guy, so I don't even know if he broke a sweat. But wide receiver Jerry Bernard, he spilled the beans on what's going on. They got to stop interviewing these players, but I'm glad in this case they did. He says the boy is raising his voice. He's raising the tempo. He's raising hell in practice. Thank you. Well, there's nothing wrong with a little hell on earth on the football field. Don't bring it down here to me with the bank. He knows what his stake. What's that stake, Jeremy said? You know what I'm saying? He's not here for more victories. That's what I meant to say earlier. Or polite post-game quotes. The win's over. Like I said, ULM, Wisconsin, he realizes they're nice, but there was an appetizer. Georgia is the whole freaking entree. Do y'all realize that if we take out Georgia, it strikes fear, really, in the other teams? Tennessee know they got issues. They got flaws. They can smooth them out, or it may not work against Chris Tide if we beat Georgia, especially if we can beat Georgia by like 7 at home, if we can break the streak. LSU, we give them confidence if we lose to Georgia by 10 because they only beat Florida by 10. But if we beat Georgia, what's LSU going to be thinking? They got to say something. Coach Kelly, he got to go tell that game play. Just throw it away. The boys sharpening their knives. The locker room has new energy, more urgency, more edge, and a lot less chill. I heard something about, I looked into, It's Me said something about the TikToking people doing, but I don't know if it went down. It's been put a moratorium on it. I hope, but I want folks focused. Get focused not on dance moves, but on the route tree. You know, you want to move something, go out there and learn how to run all the routes in this man's game plan. Go get Coach Grubb to tell him to give me the first route tree and go learn the next one so we can get this thing going, cracking, and, you know, all that stuff. Alabama hadn't lost to Georgia in a long time. 2021 national championship game. I think that was Kirby's second. So the board's making sure that, you know, his squad remembers that. You know, that we've had success. The last time we played at Athens, it's been a while. You know, we walked in as underdogs and we walked out as victors. The Georgians are 3-0, but they say they're shaky. But I think everybody in the SEC is shaking. Lord knows we shaking. Oh, we shaking. We Jello kind of shaking. Soon as Alabama gets on the field, it's shaking. It's real shaky. But we got talent. Now they're saying we got the temperament. I hope so. I saw it in the last couple games. Just put Georgia as a name on the list. Don't blow it up. Let me blow it up. I'm a fan. Let me blow it up. I know how crucial it is, but I expect them dudes to go out and execute. So the boys turn the dial up. No more of this. Let's get strategic. Let's go scorch earth. It don't matter who over there. Let's play ball. So this showdown is more than a game. It's a referendum on this new firebrand philosophy of his. Is he yelling just to be yelling because you're scared of something? Or are you yelling to make sure that people know that they need to be engaged in every play, every play they need to execute at the highest level? Execute. They've been talking about execution all summer. And the boys ain't executing. They didn't execute against Florida State. And I got to skip past the 2 victories because that's the game that shows who we are. FSU. So, but I will say this, it's sounding good. They talking the right way. I dropped my coach's video this morning with DeBoer, and I did the other 2 are dropping tomorrow where I broke down the press conferences and, you know, talked my way through them. I still got my issues back with Coach Womack because that rushing yards allowed per game, as bad as we beat ULM and as much as we dominated Wisconsin, we're still giving up too many yards per game. That's how many yards FSU put on us. But I would say this, if Georgia's expecting the same old Alabama that FSU saw, they better bring some more hedges and height. Because the board's tied. If they come out with that fury, that allow them to get 7 points, allow them to just shut Wisconsin down, come with those receipts, that fight, they're going to be hard to beat. They will be hard to beat. So take a look at who we're facing. Break down this Georgia, you know. The offense they have is not tiptoeing through the tulips. It's like a freight train with finesse. Yeah, they do a lot of little screens, little pick and pops. They don't try to force the ball down the field, but people block at the point of contact. Their receivers block pretty well from what I can see against Tennessee. And Tennessee's DBs need to learn how to get off the block. Gunnar Stockton, 721, 70.8% completion percentage, 4 touchdowns. I think he got 1 interception now, but I'm showing 0. Dual threat guy, 124 yards rushing. You got to make him not want to run the ball. Nate Frazier, Dwight Phillips, those guys combined for about 350 yards a game. One is a bruiser, one is that home run hitter with track speed. That's how Georgia's gonna come at you. You're gonna take this bruising in your chest, and as soon as you reach up to grab your chest run, I'm gonna run this dude right past you. You gotta hit all of them. Zachariah Branch, when they get the ball out to him, he makes a reception, averaging 16.5 yards a catch. The transfer from, I guess, either I don't know if it's South Carolina or Southern California. It don't matter. The boy can ball. Our DBs, y'all standing on it. Hey, got to shut them down. Kobe Young, the big body target. He's there. Isaiah Horton. He like to play bully ball. Dominique, are you ready for him? Fellas, they coming. London Humphreys. He's kind of a clutch guy in the red zone. 2 touchdowns. You know, all he's catching is touchdown. He ain't catching the other stuff. And the guy you got to watch out for, 17 yards per reception. The seam splitter himself, Oscar Delp, the tight end. Told y'all, folks, tight ends get disrespected. Nobody wants to cover the tight ends. And tight ends get away with robbery out there. And that's not robbery, but they just run like they're invincible. The next thing you know, as soon as the ball hit them, they appear. Or it's like a first down for 20 yards. This man is averaging 17 yards per reception just based on what I'm saying. And I think they had another doggone tight end that came in the game. He caught one for about 30. It's like, do y'all not talk about this? I'm just saying defenses in general throughout the SEC. You got a left tackle. He's a good anchor. He's a left tackle, Monroe Freeland. But he's vulnerable. Keep that in mind, Coach Womack. He is vulnerable. Offensive lineman Drew Bobo. Now, he brings a lunch pail, and when you open it up, it has 4 letters inside of it. P-A-I-N. Pain. Straight pain. I saw them fold them fools up in Tennessee. Hey, you better be ready. And they got another back, Josh McCray, who has 2 touchdowns as well in 121 yards. He's a downhill power runner. So with those 3 backs coming at you, and this guy, Drew Bobo, coming at you, our run defense is going to be so important because I don't know if they want to throw the ball. If they can run the ball for 500 yards, I think Kirby would do just that. So the defense, they got some hard-hitting savages. Like I said, I don't know who that was that hit that guy from Tennessee, Aguilar, but it changed the game. They have a roaring, non-whispering defense. While losing 7% of their sack production, they have reloaded. They put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Linebacker Raylan Wilson, he got a sack. He's a sideline menace. He's probably the guy to hit that guy. Or it could have been C.J. Allen. First team All-ACC, built like a brick wall with a motor. You think I'm making this stuff up. This is true. These may be analogies, but these things are true. This dude is a brick wall. You see eyes, and there's a motor running in his heart. Defensive lineman Christian Miller has 1.5 sacks last year. Top-rated defender by PFF, although they told us we had all this PFF numbers, so I would take that with a grain of salt. Elijah Griffin already drove double teams as a Fedman. That's right. They got this Gabe Harris Jr., versatile, just causing just chaos everywhere you go. I saw a play. Georgia guys were stunting. This guy was going so wild. The running back went to block him, the chip on him. He wasn't there. The tackle went to get him. He wasn't there. Next thing you know, he's standing behind both of them, and they looking at each other like, man, why you do that? Like, that wasn't me. It was you. And by that time, old boy was running for his life. Got an Army transfer. You know he hard. You know, if you coming from Army to the SEC, you know he hard. So Elo Meduzzi. He is the edge pressure specialist. We got to watch out for KJ Bolden. Y'all know he bring nothing but the hat, all SEC safety, covers the ground like he's flying around on a drone. We got real similar defensive philosophies, but theirs is attack. I mean, they're true dogs. They let them off the leash and just go. If they get beat, they get beat. They do a lot of one-on-ones. They sent a blitz. They sent a blitz against Tennessee several times and lost for a touchdown. But after a while, that man didn't want to get hurt. And I'm telling you, it slowed down. That's why they only got, 38 points. Because they was on their way to getting 70. Because that stuff hurt. It hit different. That man's coming over from where? He was at UCLA for a little bit, and then before that, he was somewhere else that was a little further down totem pole. He took that SEC lick, and it mattered. Their star position has been played by Janelle Aguero. I mean, they got that line depth that we are losing through the injury. So I don't know who's in or who's out for Georgia as far as like injuries and stuff. I hope they all catch a stomach flu Saturday morning. It's bathrooms, people just beating on the door trying to get. I hope the whole doggone team. Just so many people care. We got to bring in the doggone scout team, let them play the game. We need a win this weekend, y'all. I don't care. We need it. Gunnar Stockton. I mean, the trigger man under the microscope. You got to disturb this man in a huge way. He got that dog in him. I mean, who is this Gunnar Stockton? Why are we always Kirby just go find these quarterbacks? He'd be like, well, I don't know where he got him from, but he better. He's better than good. I won't say he's great, but he's better than good. Dual threat guy. Run like a 4.6 40. Don't need all that, but he can escape. He can extend plays. He can explode on, and his accuracy, he likes to throw little short passes because he puts it in the hands of the playmakers and let them do it. He gets rid of the ball pretty quick, too. He avoids a lot of sacks. He ain't holding on to it. Oh, no. He ain't pulling out that Mike Penix up there. He's not doing like some of his other people. Mike Penix is trying to learn the Atlanta Falcons defense. Got to give him a break. But he do hold the ball too long. But that's the NFL. He'll learn or he'll get replaced. His team rallies around him, too. That's one of the most important things you have. We got the same thing in Ty. They have rallied around this guy all summer, and he is showing and proving who he is, that he can lead this team. He was the SEC Player of the Week. Gunnar Stockton was in that Tennessee game. I see why. I went and watched the game again this morning. He has that football IQ. You gotta switch it up because he do his pre-snap reads really good. He knows his hot routes are, and he don't frizzle too much under the doggone blitzes. When we send a blitz, we got to get there. They did get him off his square a couple of times, and it's probably because, if he goes deeper than like 15 yards and you send him the blitz, he's not that accurate beyond 20 yards. We got to pick up on this. We got to get an INT from that. He's still kind of green now. He did play against Tennessee. That's a heck of a doggone baptism into the SEC because they loud. They low down. They dirty. They cheaters. They some snitches. And they breath stink. All of them at Neyland Stadium. All 100,000 people at Neyland Stadium, that one of the ones that are wearing orange, not the other colors, the ones that are wearing orange and white, their breath stink. They have halitosis, allegedly. EPA sirens start going off when they start singing Rocky Top. Yes. They have to tell the government to stand down. It's not a hazmat issue. Tennessee is just having a game. But he did well. He does use his legs a lot. Like, he can bail out too early. We got to get him out of there. We got to get those sacks. We got to make him think he's going down. He's not. Tim Keenan being back, helping Smith to collapse the pocket is going to be essential. And who else we send the game? You got to have a contained rush. We can't do that doggone track meet that we did against Castellanos because Castellanos cost his biggest as he jipped up out of the pocket and just disappeared because we had undisciplined pass rush. You got to collapse the pocket straight into him. If he runs out and go back, fine. That's the linebacker's job to go get him for a 7-yard, 10-yard loss, maybe even a strip sack. He's kind of undersized, but I don't play into that. Every time that man undersized, he's 6'1". I'm 6'2". I'm gonna be undersized. I see pretty good at Walmart. People always ask me to get stuff off the top shelf. And I can get it. Now, Home Depot is another situation. I'm like, you better call somebody over here, lady, because ain't no way I'm climbing up there. I don't know you. Now, they said the one thing that we got to take advantage of, which is why we got to collapse the pockets, his mechanics under pressure are shaky. Oh, these people will break you down. They will break you down. Oh, man, I hate them just break my life down. I'm like, yeah, we noticed that when Tite is in the restroom, it's really inefficient. I mean, I never seen a guy wash his hands before using the bathroom after. That's because I'm holding on to a golden prize. That's right. Now, opponents need to press him. You got to disguise coverages. You got to force him to win from the pocket. That's the blueprint, but you got to be careful. I mean, they flick it out to them, that speed back, it's a problem. If you give in and let them just get 3 yards, 2 minutes, if they run a play up the middle and they get 3 yards on 5 carries, the next one is going to be a big one. And our DB's got to be ready. So we have to determine what their defensive, what our defense want to do with him is really switch things up. Don't get too elaborate, but go get this man. Go get that ball. Everything starts in that pocket. Don't let it get out that pocket. Don't be standing around waiting for stuff to happen. Go make it happen. What's their defensive identity with Georgia? Georgia's defense is still finding its soul, but I think they took a big step versus that Tennessee. If you ever want to be tested by a offense, it is that Tennessee offense because it has everything. They're going to throw so much. They're going to spread you so wide, and Georgia spreads you wide as well, but they master that thing because you don't know if they about to throw the ball 10 yards or 40 yards. I know it happened so quick, but what happened in Georgia is them boys got tired. They let Tennessee block it. And Georgia did not. So they were able to get that man off his square, and they disrupted a lot of passes for him. Now, Georgia is stronger against the run on defense, 18th nationally, allowing 82.67 rushing yards per game. Ain't that beautiful? That's what we need to be. I'd be glad if we get under 100. These people at 82.67. Now, Tennessee run the ball a lot, and I don't know who else Georgia's played, but that's where you want to be. They held Tennessee to 125 yards on 34 attempts, and against the pass, they're kind of vulnerable there. I can say that they're vulnerable there. They got 3 interceptions the whole year. It's not a lot. I think we have 6. But their slot coverage is kind of shaky. Who's in our slot? Who will we? Is that our slot guy? Is Jeremy in the slot? Get him in. They got some vulnerabilities in the slot coverage. Is that what the writers are saying? And their safeties will bite on play action. That's the vulnerability. But don't get crazy, girl. Run the ball, man. Need 35 yards. I need 35 minutes of possession. At least 35. Don't get crazy. I don't care if you're up by 21. Get them minutes up. You remember last year? You remember in Seattle. You saw last year. We was up. Then we wasn't up. Then we thought we were going to lose. Then we won. And we escaped, I think, because we was at home. But we escaped. Hey, man, run the ball. You got to take advantage of this pass defense. They haven't figured it out or can't say they've been tested, but the way they got their front 7 helped with their pass defense because that man, they was popping it. He ain't want no more of that. So we got to make sure we give him more than he can handle. 2024, Alabama won 41-34. That was last year when we was up by 21. 2023, 27-24 in the SEC championship. Jalen Milroe. 2022, Georgia 33, Alabama 18. That was the national championship game. Boo. 2021, Alabama 41, Georgia 24 for the SEC title because Bryce Young put on a clinic. 2020, 41-24 regular season. The Tide torched that secondary. What a flamethrower. Back in 2018, Alabama 35-28, SEC title. The Super Bowl champion quarterback Jalen Hurts saved the day. Do y'all remember that? So They got a natty out of the last few years out of us, but now it's time for us to regain our identity in this game. We can get it back. This ain't the same old Bulldogs. They're younger, they're faster, they're hungrier. They ain't won nothing in a while either. Gunnar Stockton, they did go to playoffs. Gunnar Stockton is the X factor. If he levels up, the SEC is going to have to stay buckled up, and so should the Tide defense. But we do own a psychological advantage. All that winning that we did, that means something. So until Georgia flips the script in a big game, which it could be this Saturday, the Tide keeps humming along. And I just think we got everything we need. It's up in here. It was up in here against FSU. Either it's in here in the coach's head and not coming out, or it's in the players are just confused as to what they were supposed to do. And I don't like that. So, man, I look forward to this game, but I hate to say must win, but it would be a great win to have. I don't want a moral victory. I think we just go in there, handle business, come out there with any kind of W would be great for Kalen DeBoer and his team's confidence and in respect throughout the country. Even if they lose by like 4 points, I don't even want to talk about that. We need the doggone W. Now, this weekend, there will be other people playing. There are other little morsels on. As the day goes on, we'll watch a couple games, but Alabama is definitely the doggone the main course of the evening. That's why they got us on at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. Florida State heads over to Virginia Thursday night. Florida State is probably going to win. I hope Florida State wins that game. I would say Florida State's going to win that game. They say it's a 6.5 favor of. If I don't see how Florida State is a 6.5 point favorite against Virginia. I don't know nothing about Virginia, but last time 6.5 points. But anyway, with that in mind, I would take Florida State and give away those points at 6.5. But I hope that Florida State can win the game 9-2. That's right, 9-2. Hopefully Virginia gets the coin toss and they hold on to the ball for the next 37 minutes. I mean, FSU is faster, stronger, and blah, blah, blah. They do all this stuff. But this is a mismatch. This is just a mismatch that's dressed up as a matchup. But I am hopeful, if it at all possible, Lord, if you can let FSU lose 4 times tomorrow night, that's tonight. Tomorrow night's Friday. Tomorrow night, that would be great. That would be great. Amen. Utah Vanderbilt play. Gotta watch Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is a 22.5 point favorite right now. Last time I checked, Vanderbilt should win this game because Utah's defense is softer than a Hallmark Marathon movie. Let's see. Vandy's offense, they got that gas. The Commodores got SEC athletes that they've got from all over the place. The Aggies of Utah, they have a community college type energy, and that ain't gonna cut it against one of our dominant SEC programs. We can actually say that about Vanderbilt. The Utah quarterback has a cannon, but I hope he got them legs because he may be running all night. So this game is just a formality because Vandy's ramping up for their SEC season to pick up, so they're just stretching their legs until then. Definitely taking Vanderbilt. I'm not sure about they're at home. Yeah, I'll take Vanderbilt in 22.5. I'll get those away. I would give away 22.5. Iowa versus Arizona. Iowa State, versus Arizona. Iowa State is a 6.5 point favorite, but you know me, if you listen to my show from the beginning, I am a believer in Fafita. I don't care what he's doing. I'm always going to take Fafita. I'm going to take them points at 6.5, and I'm going to pull for Arizona. I know their defense is like a rumor out there, but I think Fafita, that dude, he is incredible. If you like Diego Pavia, if you respect his bravado, his swag, the way he goes out and gets that first down, you would love watching doggone Fafita. Check out that game because, I'm just going. Cyclones can play all the disciplined football they want to, but the Wildcats, they do play backyard chaos, and that's what Fafita is all about. It's like, you're seeing the kids playing 22 on 22, and you got that quarterback that's scoring all the touchdowns. He's throwing it, and he catching it. That's what they do. Their defense is a mess, but if anybody can go out there and say, how many points we need to win this game? 47? All right. He don't even flinch. That's what Fafita is about. I wish he'd have transferred to Alabama. People saying that was going to be over at third quarter, but we are with Arizona up by 22. Wake Forest of Georgia Tech. Now, you know Georgia Tech. That's my team on the shelf. I like Georgia Tech. They play at Wake Forest. They're up by 13.5. Definitely think they're going to win this game. Like I said, as long as their quarterback is upright, they got a chance to beat anybody. Maybe they're coming to their own right now. I would love to look at their recruiting class, see who they have on that bench. Haynes King. Haynes King is a special player. I think that they would definitely 13.5 at home. Yeah, Wake Forest, you might as well go on. Yeah, get ready to take that L. Expect a lot of punts from Wake Forest. Indiana and Iowa. Indiana's an 8.5 point after beating somebody. What they beat? They beat Illinois by 63-10 or something like that. 8 points. I don't know. These may be the early lines that I picked up on, but how could you not have Indiana as a 17-point favorite? I mean, I know Iowa, they playing in Iowa, they tough and all that stuff, but I take an 8. I'll take an 8. I'll give you a 14, but give me Indiana in the 8. I mean, they're going to win this thing because they just tough, they physical, they Big Ten physical for right now. I still think they're a little too slow to play with us down here, but they're getting faster. Indiana got a quarterback that got some arm strength. I would like to run that ball, but them guys in Indiana, what's his name? That coach does not let them be soft. He don't let them play soft. And then you got Kalen's old squad is taking on Ohio State, and everybody's giving Washington a chance. Ohio State is favored by 8.5. 8.5. I'm taking the points like an idiot. I'm going to take the points and take Washington. Washington's at home. Now, I don't know if that means anything. It may end up being a thriller. Maybe they go out there and they eat some bad clam chowder or something. That Washington leads with their defense, but their offense at Iowa State, that's a buzzsaw. Everybody know that. Buckeyes, they're ready to go back to the playoffs. That's all they really waiting on. But we'll see. People have had hiccups, and maybe this will be one of them. So I'm definitely gonna go with Washington. You never know. Maybe shake that quarterback up a little bit and make something happen, and just keep it close. But I think Ohio State wins this game. But I have definitely taken the points when it comes to Washington. Now, Kentucky and South Carolina is another game I don't really care about, other than the fact we have to play South Carolina. South Carolina should win this game. They should win this game. I'll take them in the 3.5, but there's a lot of stuff going on in South Carolina. People got whispers that, with Virginia Tech falling off, that Beamer may try to go back home and get that job as the head coach. Their defense at South Carolina is decent, but something about that team is just ain't right. The offense is a one-man show. They got that man playing almost by himself, it seems, like he's throwing the ball to himself. But I think they should be able to land a couple of haymakers and put Kentucky out of their misery. I don't even know what Kentucky is hitting on right now anyway. Their plan long-term does not seem great, but I have been shocked. And they're not a 13-point. They are a 3.5-point underdog on the road. So anything can happen, but I am going to take South Carolina. And now it's time to talk about that head-banging time. It's time to put it on the table, grab your hammer, and see who flinches. Penn State versus Oregon. Tell you right now, I got the Ducks. I'm not going. No, I got the Ducks. They are regular season Warriors. They regular season. They got you. I mean, Penn State got the defense that's built for war, I guess, but Oregon they built for track meets. And when nothing on the line, they seem to be flashy. They already got the new uniforms picked out. Did you see the articles? They wear something called the Snow Winter White or something. I'm like, oh, they got new uniforms for the 342nd time. But I just think they're going to win this game. I got the Ducks. Oregon is flashy. Penn State, they are still curtain, but they're a little bit slow normally as a steel curtain. I hope he can win. Coach Franklin needs to get over the hump. He was number 3 in that conference for years. Third team behind Ohio State and Michigan. Now here comes Oregon. You can't fall in the fourth position right now. And then have Lincoln put something together at USC. Then you're going to be looking crazy. Then you're going to be looking like you're looking for another job. University of Buffalo going to be your next stop. Maybe you come down here to, I don't know, FIU, FAU, and put your career back together because you've had opportunity with some great players. Never liked your quarterbacks for your team. But it's time. I mean, maybe they can pull it out, but it's going to be hard out there in the Oregon land because they're going to go fast. They're going to be breathing all that good moisturized air, and they're going to be coming. I mean, I just don't see it. I had so much hope for y'all last year, Coach Franklin, but I don't see it. Mississippi State, Tennessee. Now, this is going to be interesting. Tennessee is favored by 8.5. I will take that. They're at home. They're going to be mad. They're going to be upset. They want to prove a point. But I want to see what Mississippi State's going to do. Mississippi State been kind of skating along. What a cooler podcast. So these guys are going to win 6 games. They got to win 2 SEC games to win 6. I think they're at 4 right now. They ain't played nobody yet. They beat Arizona, but Arizona ain't that good this year. So this is going to be redemption time for the Vols. Mississippi State defense is allergic to tackling still. Tennessee offense is caffeinated. That the Colombian caffeine, the Cuban coffee, that's what they drink that. And I just don't know. You may bring people from all over the place, but you got to cover them receivers. If you got 5 ready to go DBs on your team, get ready for 3 of them to get burnt because I'm pretty sure they're not as ready as you think they are. The quarterback at State is solid, but, they're not built for a track meet to go back and forth with these guys. 8 points is nothing. I think they'll probably win by 17. Tennessee going to run that tempo. And them guys, a lot of them coming in as transfers from all over the place. It's going to take a year for them to really solidify into a true SEC team if they can get them to come back. Then we got 2 sorry cusses playing. Notre Dame playing Arkansas. I don't even know. I cannot believe Notre Dame is going to Arkansas. I mean, I can't even believe it. That's pretty impressive. But I'm taking the points for Arkansas. Notre Dame's favored by 10. Notre Dame is 1-2. Arkansas is 1-3. I don't know. Both of them losing. So, yeah, Notre Dame should win the game, but I don't know if they're going to win by more than 10 points. Unless Arkansas just getting there, just slapping themselves in the face. Arkansas got to do something with their defense. Fix a couple of holes here and there. Just come to the mindset that defense is not a suggestion, but it's a solution. Quarterback at Notre Dame, yeah, he should be able to do something, but I don't know. He's throwing against different talent right now, so they got to prove it. They may have, they may win with some class, but Arkansas, they're going to make them wallow in the mud a little bit. I think it's going to be an offensive lineman or a trench battle. Both of them big. It's going to be a game to watch. There's going to be some slobber knockers in that game too. But I think that Arkansas gets to win. Notre Dame gets to win, but I don't think Notre Dame's winning that game by 11. They ain't like that, as far as I'm concerned. Next up is Ole Miss and LSU. If LSU don't win this game, it's a pick 'em. 1.5 in college is a pick 'em. Anything under 2.5 is a pick 'em. Maybe even 3. I'm going with the whole team. I think Ole Miss, I'm just going with the home team. Kelly, that if Lane Kiffin can convince his team to play with a lot of aggression on defense and bring back, let them land sharks roll around there and get it done, and LSU may not stand a chance, but LSU secondary, they got to get it together. And the team, you didn't take advantage, LSU, you didn't even take advantage of 5 interceptions. 5 interceptions, that's 21 points. You ended up with 20 for the whole game. The Rebel wide receivers should be running wide open. I don't know. Kelly, I think he sometimes he just gets what appears to be verbally abusive with his wide receivers and make them not want to play. I mean, but They should be able to pull off this at home. But I'm going to watch it because it's going to be some definite fireworks in that game coming out of Kelly's ears or coming from the Ole Miss offense. Auburn, yes, I said Auburn, at Texas A&M. Now, right off the bat, I call Auburn winning that game against Oklahoma last week, and if it was not for the referees, letting that allowing that DB to wrap himself around Cam Coburn like he was a doggone waist cinch, like he was one of them fat burning belts. He made that call. It was a head-to-head targeting where a damn DB launched himself head first. Now I'm just upset about this because that's somebody's kid. Both of them. He launched himself head first and hit Arnold Jackson right in the back of the head. Referees didn't call nothing. Not to mention the fumble for a touchdown that Auburn got. I can't win like that, folks. And neither can Auburn. And your little letter is nothing. When I call a game, you call the game correctly. I call the winner. Auburn should have won that game, hands down. There's the worst officiated game I've seen, and I don't want to go too far back. At least 5 years. That was pretty blatant evident. That's one of them things. The referees was at the hotel room. They got a knock on the door. And the man at the door had a suitcase. Or maybe he met him before they got on the plane. Because it seemed like 2 or 3, 4, 5 of them. They got that my famous saying I got from my friend Marcus. He said, sometimes people roll up on you and they tell you, you can either take what's in this case or you can be in this case. The choice is yours. And if somebody says something to me like that, and I'm about to walk out there with I ain't seeing either. Cam who? He's playing today? Uh-oh. I look forward to meeting the young man. Y'all could clearly see that DB could not cover Cam Coburn. And that's what I knew going into the game. All you do is throw it up. You can't do that to everybody. You can do it to that DB at Georgia or Tennessee and that guy from Oklahoma, but you can't do that to everybody. So anyway, but with that, coming back to reality, I got Mike Elko by 6.5 over Hugh Freeze because I think people are looking over Texas A&M. Auburn does have a good defense. These people got a good team. A&M got a run game. They're gonna try to punish the Tigers. They're a little undersized, you ask me. Especially their linebackers are bigger, but their defensive line just doesn't seem, I guess, that very big. And I don't know if they got a lot of them. Even if they do have some, they don't have a lot of them. But I think Texas A&M, I've been thinking like, so there's no dominant team in the SEC. We were looking at the wrong part of Texas. Should have been looking at not in Austin, but we should have been looking at College Station. They got a pretty good team because Mike Elko is a good coach. And I think they're going to win this. They're going to win this. I'm taking the 6. I'm giving away the 6.5 points, and I'm taking Texas A&M. And, of course, the game that everybody's waiting on. I mean, the whole nation. From Alaska over to the Marinara Islands, all the way down to, like, Fiji and Guam, wrapping back around here to the Virgin Islands, St. Croix, St. Lucia, St. Vincent. Everybody waiting on this game. This is what they want to see. Alabama and Georgia. Georgia is a 3-point favorite. We don't care about that. They pick Georgia all the time, but they forget who Alabama is. Georgia's defense, fairly elite on the front 7. I don't give them that for their back 4. Their back line got some work. But they haven't – I don't know if they face a guy that don't hit them with the accuracy both short and long. And I don't even got to be that accurate long if you got receivers that make plays. But Ty Simpson is leading the SEC in pass efficiency. Haven't played a lot of SEC games or any SEC games, but his efficiency is way up there. And he got real yards too. Mateer being down after this weekend, never know what kind of list Ty Simpson may end up on. The doubles, the odds of Ty Simpson, wherever he is, of winning the Heisman Trophy, they double in one weekend. He ain't play nobody, but they double. Not this weekend, but when they played Wisconsin. Whatever it was, it got cut in half. And he's getting closer, but he's still far down the list of being a winner. But people are paying attention a little bit. So if we can get the Crimson Tide front seven to just turn that Georgia running game into a myth, you can't never tell Kirby he ain't gonna run the ball. But if they have to cut back on these rushing yards. I mean, it gets the opponent into second and short. It gets them to third and ones and 1.5s, and we can't do that all day. Got to get off the field. Stopping the running game will be critical to controlling the clock of this game because the offense is humming like a Rolls Royce on cruise control. Do Rolls Royces have cruise control? In the chat, let me know. It's me. Let me know how if your Rolls Royce has cruise control. Now, can the Tide's front seven? I'm sorry. We got to have Kirby hopping and giggling and being giddy all night long and just wondering what's going on, who's doing this, who's my quarterback coach again, who's my receiver coach. Get him over here. Got to keep that man visibly panicked. Not cool and calm and like, I think I'm going to do this to him. No. You need to have to do running around. You need to see him going to the bench. You need to see him coaching up in different units. You watch Kirby, you will know how this game is going. I don't care if we down by 10. I don't care if we up by 10. When Kirby's moving around, he moving around too much, it ain't going right. So we are reloaded. Most importantly, mentally reloaded. And this year, we know the clip is full. Now I just need Kalen DeBoer to get in his deuce and a quarter, get in his box Chevy, whatever it is, roll up to Athens, let the windows down, and let Kane and Grubb unload on them dogs. The football metaphor. And put them to sleep. Michael Vick metaphor. Gas. I'm just going to gas. Shh. None of that permanent stuff. Come on now. Well, that's it. I want to see what happens. The same thing that should have happened in Tallahassee. We'll see what happens. What we expect to see in Tallahassee, that's what we should see this weekend. This game is bigger than that game. This one means oh so much. And can Coach DeBoer get this program upright and headed toward the playoffs, or do we see them getting dragged for old and new football sins for being phenomenal against the world of college football? And, I just want to say something, man. In my Dusty Rose voice, the Malcolm Dream, Cubby Smart, Travis Robinson, Glenn Schumann, and especially Mike Bobo. I just want to say something to you. You want to talk about hard times, losing your quarterback, losing a player or two in the portals. Y'all don't know nothing about hard times, Georgia. You don't know nothing about real hard times because you're favored and then you lose to the Tide every once in a while. Hard times, UGA, other Cubby Smart, Mike Bobo. Hard times and losing in December then the licking your wounds and your coach just retire on you. That's hard times. That's real hard time. Losing All-Americans and veterans walking out the door on you. That's hard times. Then your recruiting class just disappear and turns into vapor, and then you got to piece it back together. That's real hard time. But this Saturday night right there in Sanford Stadium, let me tell you something, Cubby Smart. Hard times are going to come knocking at your door. They're knocking at your door, and we coming in, and we ain't got nothing for you. Nothing for you but aggression, perseverance, and brutality. So you better be ready, Daddy, because we coming. Roll Tide roll. Don't forget to smack the subscribe button and flick that notification bell so you know when I drop a go live or embarrass myself and do Dusty Rose, the Malcolm Dream again for you. Share these links, share these videos, help to build a Crimson Tide Nation up to a fun-loving audience. We can have fun and be sure just like they do in wrestling. Poke that like button right now. Just poke it 2 times. Poke it on both sides between the I and between the LI and the IK. Just poke it twice. Tell a friend about us. Tell us you can find us right here on Facebook, on YouTube, and pretty soon I'm gonna get me a TikTok. We still putting dances together since TikTok is about to be an official American company, and I ain't gotta worry about losing it. I'm gonna get me a TikTok, but I'm putting together my dance routines. Shout out to B Sharp and the Sharpshooter Podcast, Kangaroo Black, Bama Moore, the Long Run, Repair Man, Rags and Fitness. Shout out to you all. Roll Tide to you all. And thank you all for making Alabama great always. And peace to the brothers at Auburn Addicts. Water Cooler Talk Podcast or Water Cooler Podcast. Bubba and Old Man is SC season with my man Tez, Dustin, and Uptempo Podcast. The Huggy Bear himself and Vandy Chris. 22.5-point favorite against Utah State. Vandy Chris at the Golden Broom Podcast. These fine folks, they are a fine group of Tide-hating, Crips Tide-hating, and doubting Americans. So, with that, we will see you all Saturday. This weekend, I think I'm going to be starting my watch show right at halftime. So, the question is about that. I'll be here. The only question is, will I be cussing or crying? I just don't know. And next week, we'll see you right back here on Around the Herd. Tuesday at 7, Thursday, somewhere around 6 or so. We still got that JV thing going on. But thank y'all for joining me today. I've had a wonderful time releasing stress. And always remember, roll, tide, roll.